fellow seekers of mystery and justice. I'm Kitty, your guide into the enigmatic realm of New England. Welcome to Mine, Missing, Murdered, Unidentified in New England, where we delve into the chilling tales that have haunted the corners of Connecticut, Maine, Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Rhode Island, and Vermont. Prepare to embark on a journey through the shadows of the last decade, from the start of 2010 to the close of 2020. Our stories, sourced from the depths of history, are as diverse as the New England landscapes they unfold in. Some episodes will lead us on an extensive exploration, while others may be swift glimpses. For these cases often shroud themselves in secrecy, leaving us with only morsels of information to feast upon. Within these episodes, every word, every theory, and yes, even every mistake and misstep is a product of my own relentless pursuit of the truth. I promise to keep you informed with updates and correct any mistakes along the way. While I won't give trigger warnings for the wounds we uncover, after all, they are an essential part to the narrative. I'll be mindful with the more sensitive topics. We'll issue trigger warnings when discussing subjects of suicide, animal loss, domestic violence, and others, to ensure a respectful and considerate journey through the mysteries that await. So, dear listener, fasten your seatbelt and let's explore the shadows of New England together. October 3rd, 2011. 23-year-old Paula Jacobs, originally from Randolph, Mass., was visiting her grandmother at her Orchard Gardens housing development with a group of friends, when suddenly a vehicle, a late model silver or gray Dodge Charger, pulled up at Zeigler and Dearborn, and two men jumped out and began shooting. As the first shot rang out, Paula's mom, Vick, called for her to come inside, and unfortunately witnessed Paula getting shot. Paula was shot in the neck behind 39 Dearborn Street in Roxbury, Massachusetts at 9:15 p.m. on October 3rd, 2011. Paula's mom was there to comfort the mortally wounded young woman, and Paula's last mortal words were, "Mommy, I got shot." 4 seconds is all it took to gun down young Paula. The two men jumped out of the vehicle, shot off their weapons, and jumped back in and headed towards Blue Hill Avenue. Police shot spotter picked up a hail of gunfire, and not just 1 or 2 shots, the gunman shot into the young crowd indiscriminately. Paula held on to life for 6 days at Boston Medical Center, but was unable to overcome her wounds. Paula had no enemies and didn't have gang affiliations. What Paula is tied to, though, is 3 shootings, 2 murders, and 1 gun. The same gun that was used to kill Paula was used in a shooting on July 31st in the slaying of Wilson Alexander Jr., covered in July 2011's episode. Wilson's mom said of Paula's death, "It broke my heart that her mother had to go through something that I just went through. The person used the same gun to kill my child and then turned around and used it to kill somebody else's child. They are still walking free." Paula is featured as the 7 of diamonds for 1 deck of the Massachusetts cold case playing cards. If you have any information about these cases, please call Boston Police Crime Stoppers at 1-800-494-TIPS. October 5th, 2011. Early in the day of October 5th, 2011, Mike Smith dropped off a birthday gift to his aunt. Later that evening, Mike was singing gospel when his cousin Earl Dorsey, a man in his 30s, asked if he wanted to tag along to a late-night toilet fix call at the Warren Gardens housing development where they both worked. The duo were described as nice people. Mike was born November 10th, 1966. A Pennsylvania transplant to Massachusetts, Mike moved from Aliquippa, Pennsylvania to Boston, Massachusetts in 2006. Prior to the move, Mike sold roses in Pennsylvania until the rose supply dried up and he decided that Boston was the place to go, And once in Boston, Mike learned how to make roses out of paper and was making new work opportunities for himself. Mike had 2 children and was said to have had a nice word for everyone. Earl was the father of 6 children. Earl had been working for Warren Gardens for 2 years and Mike roughly for 1.5 years. Warren Gardens is a housing development in Roxbury, Massachusetts, with about 220 apartments, possessing the greatest ties to poverty, violence, drug use, and other health concerns in the area. Warren Gardens is surrounded by Walnut, Regent, Warren, and Rockland streets. The cousins drove from Dorchester, Mass., arriving at the apartment complex just before 9 p.m. The men grabbed their plumbing snakes and went towards the apartment to complete the job. Around 9 p.m., neighbors reported hearing loud booms, followed by rapid gunfire. Residents of the complex found Earl and Mike shot numerous times. Mike struck in the face in several other locations, his body deceased in a pool of blood, and Earl shot in the head and left shoulder, and miraculously survived, in the fetal position, gravely injured and fighting for life. The woman who originally called the cousins to the complex heard the gunfire and saw nothing, and then a neighbor told her of the 2 bodies just outside of her door. The woman felt terrible about their fates, asks if she hadn't had made that call, would Mike still be alive, and would Earl have remained unscathed? No suspects or motives have been announced. This incident took place in the same Warren Gardens housing development from August 2011's episode where Tyrus Sanders was gunned down. If you have any information, please call 1-800-494-TIPS. October 8th, 2011. Daniel Bunch Sr., Maribel Pomales Bunch, and their Boston College attending son Danny were planning on opening a business together. A broken heart, Maribel says, "I won't get to see my grandchildren. I won't get to see my son walk down the aisle and get married. That has been stolen from us." This determined mother wants justice, saying, "That person cannot get away with this. If he hurt my son, I absolutely believe that he would hurt somebody else or has hurt someone else in the past." These distraught parents say that they will live with the pain for the rest of their lives. Around 11:45 p.m. on October 8, 2011, Danny Bunch Jr. met with his friends at 1556 Blue Hill Ave at Babson Street near Mattapan Square. This was at the time the local mobile station and hangout spot. There were more than 15 people gathered at the mobile, and in terms of friends her son Danny was hanging around with, his mother says they say that they were Daniel's friends, and I know for a fact that they saw what happened to my son. What did happen to Danny? Danny was shot at point-blank range in front of his friends. The shooter emerged from a car on a side street, walked up, exchanged words with Danny, then shot him several times. And of the 15-plus people there, none talked. Some friends they are. Nobody has stepped forward, even though there is a known suspect, a strong suspect. There is need for more evidence. Local police and the Suffolk County District Attorney's Office are working together on Danny's case. Boston police said in a statement, "Daniel was loved by many. His friends and family are left to cherish his memory and demand justice for his murder." If you have any information, please call 1-800-494-TIPS. October 16th, 2011. If I'm honest, my memories of him are a blur now. That doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt or that it never did. It breaks my heart to know I will never see my brother again. The brother that I knew was a great guy. He was respectful, and he did seem like the leader type. So for someone to take him out, whether he was a good guy or not, is wrong in many ways than one. They are not God. They had no right to plan out someone's death. They don't get to gamble on someone's life. My mother thinks everything was planned. Those weren't his drugs and handgun. He was holding it for someone. My brother had enemies because he didn't follow people. He was a leader and did what he wanted to do. I would never know if any of this is true. He's dead and I can't ask him. I probably wouldn't have asked him about it when he was alive either, because I didn't know that I wouldn't see him again. Devada Wanamaker started his criminal career young, as at the age of 17 he robbed a pizza delivery driver at gunpoint. For this crime, Devada received 5 years in state prison for armed robbery, assault with a deadly weapon, and assault with a dangerous weapon. He also received 3 years probation. The victim of the crime said that he wished Devada go to rehab and wished the young man the best. Devada was only 23 yet held a long history with the Springfield Police Department, with past arrests for illegal firearm possession, armed robbery, parole violations, and numerous other crimes. On the fateful evening of October 16, 2011, Devada was shot at least one time in the head at Club Illusion and made his way to the alley at 284 Worthington Street, Springfield, Mass., 2 doors down from the club. Devada was found face down and breathing. Life-saving measures were administered while waiting for the ambulance. At first, onlookers thought Devada had been in a fight, but it wasn't until EMTs showed up that they found someone had actually shot Devada. Bay State Medical Hospital, where he was pronounced deceased. Law enforcement says that the altercation leading to Devada's murder was likely drug-related. Club Illusion, owned by GOS LLC, closed down in major part to Devada's murder. The bar lost their liquor license and closed their doors as a result, though pre-existing financial concerns also didn't help. In the light of his murder, Devada's sibling, Odyssey Rodriguez Wanamaker, made an art movement piece titled "Stop, Let Us Live." The article covering this piece also discusses what it was like learning their brother had been shot and killed, rectifying their slowly fading memories of their brother, and the urge for justice for shooting victims. Please call 1-413-787-6355 with any information. October 17th, 2011. This next case is of an unidentified white male between the ages of 80 to 85. This man was a resident of Salisbury, Mass., who had gray blonde hair and was 4 feet 9 inches, weighing roughly 53 pounds. The deceased male was found in blue-green boxers on October 17th, 2011. No other information is available. Please call 1-617-267-6767 with any information. October 19th, 2011. Nancy Riggy would be 75 to 76 this year. She is blind in her left eye, wears eyeglasses with gold rims, and was reported missing at 8:28 a.m. on October 19th, 2011. Nancy has a head full of gray curly hair, unspecified medical issues, and was a heavy smoker. Nancy was last seen in Shelburne Falls, Massachusetts. Nancy doesn't have access to a vehicle, and none are registered to her. Authorities checked the Franklin Regional Transit Authority driver that was working the route Nancy would have boarded, and there is some conflicting evidence as to whether Nancy was picked up or not. According to Web Sleuths, Nancy was a bank teller and friendly to everyone, had diabetes, and was last seen leaving to mail a letter. Nancy was last seen before 8:30 a.m. at her Buckland, Massachusetts home, wearing the following clothing: a white t-shirt with the words United, red, white, blue, green, plaid flannel shirt, and burgundy purple pants. White slip-on shoes. Nancy was 130 pounds when she disappeared, and missing persons pamphlets were released in Nancy's honor, featuring St. Anthony of Padua, Novena, who is the patron saint of lost things, missing persons, miracles, grieving, and prayer. The 10th anniversary of Nancy's disappearance was held at St. Joseph's Parish. No comparisons have been made to exclude Nancy from deceased persons found. Please call 1-413-773-5361 with any information. October 21st, 2011. Angel Garcia is happy, respectable, and big-hearted. A Hispanic male, standing at 5'8" to 5'10", and normally has long brown hair in a ponytail or braids. Angel weighs in at roughly 180 pounds. Angel sports many scars, including the knuckles on his right hand, his right knee, his chin. He has a mole on his upper lip, one on his upper back, and one between his nipples. Angel rocks pierced ears and was last seen riding a striking red Honda 85cc dirt bike with Geico emblazoned on the side, wearing a gray hoodie, blue jeans, and black sneakers with a red design. Angel was last seen on the eastern border of the Connecticut River in East Hartford, Connecticut, along Newfield and New Britain Aves in Colt Park. Angel has no history of running away, and it is not thought that he ran off to start a new life. Angel, his dirt bike, and phone remain missing, and police theorize that both were taken by unknown persons or person. No surveillance footage caught Angel riding behind the numerous car dealerships or the back trails Angel should have been riding past. Angel Garcia is lovingly known as Ito, had ADD, learning difficulties, and an undeniable spirit and determination to succeed. Angel had a girlfriend of over a year who had a young son. Not only had Angel and his lovely girlfriend, Omera, been together, Angel's family immediately opened their arms to the young mother and son. Once Omera moved in, she taught Angel how to cook, and then Angel was a cook who enjoyed crafting meals for people. These meals became tradition, where sitting around the dinner table had meaning. Angel also loved his niece Armani and his girlfriend's son Joxel. Angel's parents are Laura Suazo and Ralph Garcia. 1 month prior to his disappearance, Angel got a new dirt bike. When asked where he got it, Angel told his mom it was a gift from his father, whom she had divorced when Angel was 10. The truth where he procured the dirt bike is far more scandalous. A man named Lewis came forward to police saying that this dirt bike was stolen by Angel and his 2 friends, Josh and Luis. The 3 friends schemed together to steal a dirt bike from an unsuspecting person. In this case, a man and his 15-year-old stepson in East Windsor Corridor, Connecticut, by one taking it for a test ride and meeting the other 2 around a corner, loading up the dirt bike into a truck and driving away. This plan worked. The night before his disappearance, Angel and Josh were riding dirt bikes near the Trinity College when 2 white men in a tan or gray Jeep Cherokee made a U-turn to chase after the pair. Angel escaped and Josh was caught and asked information about Angel, including his whereabouts, and was released. Angel was with his friends Josh and Joel. Then, all of a sudden, he left on his own, which is something that he never does. And that was the last of him, said Laura Otero Suezo of her missing son. On October 21st, 2011, after stopping at Joel's uncle's house to make repairs to minor issues the dirt bike had, Angel and friends went riding on homemade trails on their ATVs. Joel ran out of gas and pushed his dirt bike back to his uncle's house. Angel said he was going to East Hartford and took off heading east. This was around 1 p.m. Another of Angel's friends, Anthony, saw Angel 4 hours after Joel, who had lied to law enforcement due to a court-ordered curfew and breaking it. The night he disappeared, Laura got home around 9:30 p.m., didn't see Angel, and went to bed. Laura and Omera heard someone who sounded like Angel shouting, "Go ahead and break it," in the middle of the street in the middle of the night, but by the time they went outside, there were no signs of anyone. When originally reported missing, police gave false advice that you have to wait 24 hours to report someone missing. During this time, Laura stayed up all night calling friends and family in search for Angel. Joelle finally cooperated with law enforcement, telling them that Angel rode the back way to East Hartford, potentially going over a train trestle or over a bridge, and during this time the floodwaters were raging around the areas Angel would have had to cross over if he actually went to East Hartford, Connecticut. Joelle didn't want to go because he had unnamed errands, and that he didn't like crossing the Connecticut River. Joelle was then shown a map of where Angel's phone last pinged, which was at his uncle's house at 3:28. He began to get nervous and uncomfortable. Joelle maintained he never followed Angel to East Hartford, but Angel's family protested that Angel wouldn't go there alone. Joelle was determined to not be a suspect. Numerous water, ground, and air searches were conducted in the search for Angel. However, the river by where he could have potentially disappeared was too murky to search by persons or sonar. There have been rumors as to what happened to Angel, some more plausible than others. The top two prevailing theories are accidental death and foul play. One theory suggests Angel was shot in the head and thrown into the river. Another is he was burned and thrown into a dumpster. Kidnapping is also suggested. The tan Jeep was a bit of a red herring, as it had been reported stolen and the fingerprint was tied to a Hispanic male not tied to the case. A sighting of Angel turned out to be a man named Nelson who was identical to Angel. Angel was born on March 5, 1992, and in his honor a fingerprinting event was held for children and over 70 attended. Two comparisons of unidentified bodies have been made. One in Bland, Virginia in 2015, and one in Davidson, North Carolina in 2011. A sweet gum tree was planted in Angel's honor, and Mom Laura has represented his story on shows like Maury and Disappeared episode Lost Angel. There was a charity scavenger hunt using cars with a $7.5 thousand fee to enter that was covered by Knox, a Hartford-based nonprofit that uses horticulture as community engagement. A fireball run was dedicated to Angel in 2013, and for one event, Angel's father and around 30 family members showed up for support. Please call 1-860-399-2120 or 1-860-722-TIPS. October 24th, 2011. Victor Mercedes, aka Juan J. Soto, was a 30-year-old Orange Street resident who had a brief history with police. Victor was known to law enforcement for a 2008 distribution of cocaine, receiving a stolen motor vehicle, and providing a false name to police. On October 24th, 2011, Victor was discovered in the driveway of 9-3 Garfield Street, Springfield, Mass., roughly at the corners of Garfield and Litchfield Street, part of the Forest Park neighborhood. There is no evidence of suicide, and there are shell casings, however, no weapon was in sight. Please call 1-413-787-6355 with any information. October 24th, 2011. Darrell Leary of Roxbury, Mass. was shot at 89 Brook Avenue, a part of Upham's Corner in Dorchester, Mass. on October 24th, 2011. No other information is available. Please call 1-800-494-TIPS. If you have any questions, concerns, complaints, please email me at minepodcast@gmail.com. All one word, and mine is spelled with 2 M's, 2 I's, 1 N, 1 E. Please include what your message is about in the subject line. Later, y'all!